Politico. Trump's relationship with the RNC sours. Tensions flare as the party hires a fired Trump aide and uses vendors linked to the Never Trump movement. While fundraising lags, Donald Trump relying heavily on the Republican Party to bolster his skeletal operation, but his campaign relationship with the RNC increasingly plagued by distrust, power struggles, and strategic differences, according to sources in both camps. In recent days, the RNC chairman, Reince Priebus, has privately grumbled that his advice doesn't seem welcome with Trump, according to one RNC insider. Other party officials have expressed frustration that Trump's campaign trying to take too much control over a pair of fundraising committees with the party while adding little to the effort. While Trump had promised Priebus that he would call 24 top GOP donors when the RNC chief of staff, Katie Walsh, recently presented Trump with a list of more than 20 voters, he called only 3 before stopping, according to 2 sources familiar with the situation. It's unclear whether he resumed the donor calls later. Meanwhile, there's deep skepticism on the Trump campaign about the RNC's commitment to the presumptive nominee, with some campaign officials questioning how hard the RNC is working to help Trump and raise money for his campaign's joint committees with the party. Faced with suggestions that party leaders are unhappy with Trump's incendiary rhetoric about the Orlando shooting and the judge presiding over a lawsuit against the candidate and his Trump University, campaign insiders have scoffed. Well, I don't think we're going to take a lot of political advice from Priebus, a campaign official said. From my perspective, we should not be relying on the RNC for much. I'm not sure they're fully supportive yet, the campaign official said, adding, we hope and expect to soon be on the exact same page. The front dynamic, potentially a serious liability for an insurgent campaign that is proudly not against the political infrastructure dwarfed by the Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton's operation, which is expected to raise $1.5 billion or more. Situation equally problematic for the Republican Party, which typically relies on its candidates to help boost down ballot races. Is anyone surprised by this, though? That Donald Trump and the RNC not exactly getting along? Now, there's a CNN story that Donald Trump is threatening to go about this all alone, like he has before. The problem, I think, between the Trump campaign and the RNC, and I've brought this up before, is that the RNC is going to want Donald Trump to act like a regular candidate. They are going to want Donald Trump to not be Donald Trump. If you're Donald Trump's campaign and you have defeated Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Rick Perry, Scott Walker, all of these guys who are expected to be the big names in 2016, you probably look at your campaign and going, why should we change anything? Why should we tone down? Why should we change it? People right now are responding to us. Now, I think the Trump campaign, they've taken advice. They've put Donald Trump on a teleprompter a few times. But I don't think the Donald Trump campaign fully trusts the RNC and vice versa. And they probably won't trust each other for a very long time. And that's why it's going to be a rocky campaign. This is not going to be an easy one for Donald Trump. And this is, I've said it in the morning brief today, I fully expect there to be crazy, wild swings in the polling between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. These are two candidates that I think it's easy to say the vast majority of Americans do not like. People don't like Hillary Clinton and they don't like Donald Trump. I think the easy road for Donald Trump is to reach out to conservatives. He's not doing that. He's going along with the Democrats on this whole idea of a ban on, or the no buy list. He's going along with that idea. He's not endearing himself to the conservatives. He's not endearing himself to the Republicans. It would be easy for him to do so. But he does run the risk, if he turns into a normal or normalizes as a candidate, he runs the risk of losing all of those diehard Trump supporters that are out there, that look at Donald Trump and applaud Donald Trump for being the guy who says, you know what, I'm not going to listen to Reince Priebus. I'm not going to listen to Mitch McConnell. I'm not going to listen to these guys. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to trust my instincts. And that's what Donald Trump has done, by the way, through the entire primary. And for whatever reason, these elected officials, I guess they thought that when Donald Trump became the nominee that a flip would switch and that Donald Trump would be, I don't know, Rick Perry. They thought that he would be someone they could control, someone who wasn't going to go off the reservation a few times. If Donald Trump became another Mitt Romney, I don't think that he would have the support among the Trumpers that he does right now. What I think Donald Trump's aim is right now is to keep being the same guy that works outside the political boxes. He'll take some advice, like working with a teleprompter, but toning down the rhetoric and not calling Hillary Clinton names anymore. All of that, it's going to go away. Or it's not going to go away. He's going to continue to do so because I think what his campaign hopes, what they are relying on, is all of these new voters that they will show up. The diehard Trumpers who are tired of the political establishment. They're tired of the conservative movement. They're tired of all the other political movements that are out there. They want Trump. They want someone who operates outside of the box. And that they're going to vote for him. And that everyone else, conservatives, Republicans, what the Trump campaign hopes and what they believe, I think, is that Republicans and conservatives fear Hillary Clinton and what she will do to this country so much that they just have to go, all right, fine, I'll vote for Trump. Even though he says a bunch of crazy stuff. Even though he's rude. Even though he can be obnoxious. Even though the Twitter trolls can be obnoxious. He's not a disciplined candidate. He's not this. He's not that. People will go and vote for the guy because he's not Hillary. And it seems to me that that's where the Trump campaign is going, is that, hey, we're the not Hillary campaign. We're not the norm. We're not the normal politician at all. We're not the regular campaign. And for all the conservatives out there, hey, you better roll the dice with me, otherwise you get Hillary. And eventually, Republicans, elected officials, are going to have to understand that. And I think Trump's right on one point. They're going to have to get over it. And they're going to have to be quiet about it. Otherwise, you're going to get Hillary Clinton as president. And look at what she's already talking about. She's already talking about bringing back an assault weapons ban. She's already getting into these issues. Just wait until she's president and she's able to appoint Supreme Court justices. You know, the whole Trump University and judge thing. Is anyone talking about that this week? No. That's gone. That controversy is out of here. No one cares about that right now. And so what I expect is that this time next week or possibly the week after, there was a new national poll that came out that showed Trump down 6 points to Hillary Clinton. There was a Bloomberg poll that came out earlier this week, had Trump down 12. I expect Donald Trump to go up. Because while you may not have liked everything Donald Trump said about terrorism in the response to the terrorist attack, you really don't trust Hillary Clinton when it comes to terrorism and to keeping this country safe. I don't trust Hillary. I've seen what she's responsible for.